Yeah, I think that's very well put. You have a Republican government and a conservative movement, which is clearly on the demographic toilet brush. Like their base is old, and Gen X is more liberal than the baby boomers. Millennials are more liberal or lefty than Gen X, and the Zoomers are just coming up. The people, the voting public, like born after 9/11, those people are now able to vote. Fuck me. They are more lefty still, and Republicans are not even trying to compete for those votes. They are alienating them, and they are, and by the ways you said before, but just in their entire cultural they're doubling down on this like elderly white population in a way that is inherently alienating to this very increasingly diverse younger generation, and those people are dying off every minute of every day, and younger people are coming up in the same fashion. And I think this slots just very neatly into the Arendt conception of power against violence, because in her schema, where power is, the united group action, clearly they are losing the potential for that group, their conservative base, to constitute like a wide majority of the population. But instead of saying, well, this is a democratic republic, supposedly, right? And the way to handle such a situation is to modulate your politics such that it will appeal to a majority, a new majority, try to conjure one up or something, or convince people, get in there and argue.
Yes, persuade, right? Because persuasion is the realm of power and the realm of politics.
Yeah.
Right? To come up with a new way to act in concert with different ideas.
Yeah. They turn to cheating and in ways which, there is some stuff which is like directly violent, like taking away people's voting rights to ex-cons. It's like a quarter of the population, black population in Florida, a huge number of people, and in many other southern states, black Americans have been disenfranchised through these laws. And then, gerrymandering is a sort of less violent, you might say, but effectively still disenfranchising people, taking away their democratic rights by cheating, by rigging the system, in a very deliberate fashion.
The El Paso shooter is specifically, through violence, eliminating people who could act in power and act in concert against that dwindling white population, right?
Yeah, that's right. And he says that in his fucking manifesto, that the explicit point is to keep Texas from going blue, going Democrat, because that's what will happen, probably sooner or later. Like on the current trajectory, it certainly looks that way. And so, yeah, turning to the instruments of strength to turn on the people and their communities, to force them down, and continue to cling to what we might call control, not power, to
Yes.
remain at the head of the government in a minority fashion. And
because what is a counter-majoritarian measures are nothing if not magnifications of strength. Like, What is the fact that in Wyoming a vote is worth so many more times, right, than the vote of a citizen in California, other than magnifying the strength of that individual who's voting in Wyoming, right? What is the Supreme Court and those kind of anti-democratic counter-majoritarian positions, other than magnifying the strength, right, of individuals, even if they are individuals, and it's a little confusing, who represent groups, right? So that's a combination of power and strength in a way. But gerrymandering, these anti-democratic institutions that are taken advantage of, whether it's electoral college or the courts, are ways to counter the power of those groups who would otherwise rule democratically.